Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of March 1st through the 7th. And during that time, we have a waxing gibbous energy that we bring in from last week. And of course, that's a time of us demonstrating more flexibility, making adjustments on those projects and things that we're working on from the new moon. We then move into the full moon energy, and that happens on the 3rd. But sometimes that energy can last for a few days, like so maybe the 2nd through the 4th. I know that I feel that new or that full moon energy so much. And it could be a time of heightened emotions. You might feel snappy and irritable. You might have changes in your sleeping patterns. I certainly do that. But it is a good time for us to release any resentment and fear. Just give that over to the moon. And then also to practice patience and calm. It's like a little gift that we get every month. Like, can you remain calm through chaos? So use it in that way. We then move into the waning gibbous energy, which of course is way calmer. And that's, a time where you can become thoughtful and think about, how you want to grow. What is it in your life you're working on some things, and what is it that you're really trying to accomplish. But it is our chance to grow and learn during that period. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So, as always, please take what resonates today, Capricorn, and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to step out of your comfort zone. All right, let's see what the Capricorn Collective has going on. It is very rare that I get that card, so very interesting. That is a North Node card. And I've only seen that. It's funny because I do shuffle these decks a lot, and I tend to get a lot of the same cards tend to pop out. So it's interesting. Excuse me. Let me grab a cup of sip of my coffee here. It is interesting to me when a completely new card where I feel like I haven't seen that card, which I'm sure I have at some point, but that's not a card I see all the time. All right, I will quit babbling about that, I swear. My fun weekly reminder this week, Capricorn, is that you keep a spiritual journal. So sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our spiritual life. And, it's a good thing to have to look back on as we're evolving spiritually. So keeping a spiritual journal, and this would be keeping track of, maybe dreams that you're having or synchronicities that you're having, things that you're learning along the way, things that you're incorporating or want to. So keeping a spiritual journal is a great idea. And that is my fun weekly reminder for you, is that you do that. All right, let's get into this reading. Capricorn, March 1st through the 7th, step out of your comfort zone. And your present energy right now, Capricorn, will look at you at the Fool card. I love it when things line up. Tarot amazes me doing cards. It has since I started doing them, really. The Fool, it's a new journey. You're going to step out of your comfort zone because you have to do that in order to do something new. Anytime we're taking off on a new path, it's like, oh, am I doing the right thing? We start questioning ourselves, but it's also that excitement of taking that first step and taking that first leap. So definitely, whatever it is that you're about to venture out on, I wish you the best of luck, and step out of your comfort zone, because who wants to live there? Feel alive. It's very tingly to be out of your comfort zone, right? Your current situation is the Page of Cups. So look at you having a sense of humor and an open heart. So this could be, for some of you, depending on where you are in life, for some of you, this could be a new relationship, a new friendship, even too. This could be having fun in a friendship or a relationship that you're in right now, just having more fun. So it kind of just depending on where you are. Is it something, our pages are about something new. And even though for some of you that might be a new relationship or a new friendship, it's also just about having a new kind of fun. Maybe lightening up a little bit. Maybe you just decide, I'm going to tell a joke a day to my partner. I'm going to make them laugh, or I'm going to make myself laugh, or I'm going to pull pranks, or whatever it is that you do. It looks like you're going to add kind of the lighter side of life, and that's a lot of fun. I'm sure, maybe for whoever you're living with or hanging out with. At the root of this situation, Capricorn, is look that you've had all these choices and you've had time to think about, how is it that I want to be in life? I was just talking to what was it, Sagittarius, in their previous reading. This card came up as well. And sometimes just things are good and you're thinking, how do I make things better? So, it's good to have choice. Choice is a luxury. Some people don't have those kind of choices, or just the kind of time to make those kind of decisions, but it looks like you've made some sort of decision to go on a new path. There's probably lots of other choices that come with it. Just use well and just keep your own the ideal of where you're trying to go. Sometimes you have to kind of goal set and think, I want to be this kind of person. And then those choices become easier and easier to make. In your recent past, here is the Tower. So you've had some sort of disruption, it looks like, that's maybe brought this on. Excuse me. And I always say about a tower is that we're all going to have disruptions. It's like if things are going to happen that are disrupting your life. There's going to be delays and things that are unexpected and things that come through rude awakenings and things that are just horrible. They're going to happen to all of us. But when you get to the other side of those, sometimes you start thinking, oh, if that thing hadn't happened, I would have never met this person, or I would have never had this experience, or this changed my life in such a way, even though it seems so detrimental. Like, thank God that happened. So, it looks like you might be having one of those moments where something crazy has happened and it just kind of pushed you into this new place and you're kind of forced to be on this new journey, but you certainly seem happy about it. So step out of your comfort zone if that's where you are. Use that in a way that's positive and start your new journey. What is on your mind this week is a little bit of a broken heart. So it could be a little bit of disappointment left over from whatever this tower is, or was. So that's kind of on your mind, but you still got to move forward. It's almost like you're being forced to move. And once again, maybe it's hard for you to see while you're in it, or while you're, even if this is like a pick up the pieces kind of time for you from this disruption, whatever it is that has just turned your life and changed you, even if it's that time that's kind of forcing you on a new journey, you're still working through those things. But once again, step out of your comfort zone. You got to kind of forge ahead. And there's some reason why this happens, right? You may not know it yet, but just kind of keep that in mind. Like, what this is taking me somewhere, and just kind of be open for the ride. What is just ahead of you this week is the King of Pentacles. So there may be some sort of money or change in your material world. This could be a change in where you live. This could be, some money coming in from something, maybe even related to this tower. And I would say that if you maybe wrecked your car last week and you're heartbroken over this car, but you're trying to have a sense of humor about it, maybe that insurance check hits this week. So there's some kind of something when it comes in, and it's also your understanding of exactly what to do with it. Like, I know exactly what to do with this check that's coming in, this money that's coming in, this tax return, whatever it might be. It's having that knowledge to really incorporate all it is, everything there is to know about the material world, and to really put it to good use. So that is just ahead of you this week. Also, because it's a king, it's also knowing what's best for the people around you as well. What's best for you, what's best for your kingdom. In your advice position here is the Ace of Cups. So again, open heart. This is this Page of Cups here. Heart overflowing. You might have emotions. You might be so happy that this thing happened, that because it's going to change your life. That's going to be something that kind of shifts your life in a whole different position. But I feel like you've got an open heart, and you've got your emotions are flowing, and that's not a bad way to be. What is beyond your control this week is the Seven of Swords. So what you want to do is be very careful. Excuse me, let me grab some coffee. I'm getting a little frog in my throat, and anytime I do that, it makes me think there's something this week that you do need to speak up about. And it's funny that I'm holding this card. So this card, as tarot readers, we're taught that the Seven of Swords here is about cunning and craftiness. It could be about theft and hidden agenda. I see it a little differently depending on when it's pulled. And in this case, I do. So beyond your control this week, think of all of these swords as ideas or information that you're holding on to. And it's kind of like keeping your poker face. Like, you're going to let the world see these two cards, or you're going to say a couple of things, but there's some information that you're kind of holding back. And go ahead and do that. It's beyond your control to do that. To not, just not reveal all of your cards, all of your messages, everything that you know, for some reason. And you'll know exactly, those of you that are dealing with something where you have to kind of hold on to information, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's beyond your control to do that. Go ahead and do it. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid, is the Six of Swords. So trying to move calmly. Look at these calm waters. Everybody's all the water in your reading is pretty calm. We do have this open heart, it's kind of flowy, and that's good. But Six of Swords is about moving very calmly into the future, into the next step. And here you are with this new journey. So you just want to get through it. And I understand that. So is that your secret desire? Just to move calmly into the future? Or are you trying to avoid that? I hope that's your secret desire. I don't know how else, what do you want to move chaotically into the future? But that is your big question. Are you trying to avoid moving into the future? Maybe you're a little hesitant about it and it's hard to step out of that comfort zone. But here I am telling you, step out of your comfort zone, move into the future, just do it calmly. You'll be just fine. And your outcome position, Capricorn, is look at you with a new perspective. I think the Hangman and the Fool card just go so well together. And when you think about where this is about in the middle, the Hanged Man of the Fool's entire journey through the major arcana. And you're at a point now where you're at a new perspective, and it happened very quickly. So whatever this is moving through, but it is making you think about things in a new way and making you probably act and do things in a very new way and make new decisions for yourself. So again, you're learning from whatever that tower was, whatever that thing that seemed to be negative. You're learning and you're moving calmly into your future. It's almost like, I can manage this. It's okay. I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, do the thing that needs to be done. And I think you're going to be just fine because of it. So let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Capricorn as they take off on this new journey. Whatever that might be for you. I mean, that could be, the Fool's journey can encompass so many different things, big changes, little changes, just any life changes that you're going to be going through. And you'll encounter a lot of things along the way, and then you're successful in the end. So, or you've got to pick up the pieces and try another thing. That's also, failure can also lead to eventually to success. So, all right, let's see. Soul Oracle deck here. Final message for Capricorn for the first week of March. Okay, this card here. Count your blessings. I think I just had that card come out in the last reading. It's funny, like I said, you shuffle, and sometimes you see a card that you never see, and sometimes I might pull this card in the same card in a week 3 or 4 times, and that cracks me up too. So, all right, Capricorn, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. How does Capricorn need to take care of themselves this week as they're kind of picking up the pieces from this tower? Capricorn. All right. The card that you get is the card called Focus. If you focus on what you don't want, there's a good chance you might get it. Focus on what you do want instead. And isn't that the secret of manifesting good things, making the best choices, is that if you get into that negative mindset, and people that do it, I do, where they're just constantly thinking that, and they get the negative result, negative, over and over, negative mindset. And they're frustrating. It's frustrating to watch too. But if you're in that positive mindset and you can get yourself set in there, good things start to happen. So be light, be that Page of Cups, have that sense of humor, be light and be positive that things can work out, that you're looking at things from a new perspective, and that you can move calmly into the future and manifest the things that you want. So Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life in a positive way. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know if anything here is resonating. Actually, I forgot to pull what's hidden from you. I just looked down and saw this. Hidden from you is waiting on a harvest. You don't really get to rest this week. I think this is an active week of doing things, but I will say, since that card came out, to look up angel number 77, since there's 2 sevens on the day. Actually, there's 3 sevens. I did miss that. Look up 77 and 777. See if that has any bearing on your situation this week. Anyway, if you like my reading style, Capricorn, hit like and subscribe, because it'll bring you back next week. We can see where this energy goes, or if there's something, or if I get my voice back, if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thanks so much, Capricorn, for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.